Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to your SST class once again. Today, we will be continuing our chapter of geography, chapter number 2, land resources and vegetation. And today, in this particular video lecture, we will try to finish up the chapter, okay, whatever the points are remaining. I hope you have understood the previous discussed topic. The latest topic which we have discussed in this chapter was related to water, prevention of water resources and other measures. Okay, we will continue our chapter ahead from this particular point. That is, today we will be discussing in this chapter about wildlife and natural vegetation. Okay, so we will see that how these two things are related to land resources and soil which are available in a particular area. Okay, how these are dependent on demographic factors. So we will be taking one by one. First of all, we will be taking natural vegetation first. See, if suppose you might have visited to any big fairs, okay, like trade fair which we are having every year in New Delhi, yeah, any fair which is representing many states of India, okay, you will find, even though if you have not visited, you might have heard that in India, in our country India, different states are famous for their different works, handicrafts work, which they are making. Okay, handicrafts the other thing. Some states are famous for doing their bamboo works. Some states do other wooden work. Some states are good doing in pottery works. So how does these different culture arises from these different states? See, if I say about bamboo, okay, so bamboo tree is grown in plenty in northeastern states. So of course, whatever those people are making by their hand, bamboo will be used in making. Fine. If I say a rope, okay, that straw rope which you might have seen day-to-day life, that is made up of what? Coconut shells. Okay. So again, those type of ropes are made in the area where the coconut is huge and plenty. Fine. If we are seeing medicinal herbs are again found in the mountainous region like Uttarakhand and Himachal area. So those particular states will be a good producer of medicinal herbs. So these vegetations, natural vegetations, are hugely dependent on what? Climate, water availability, soil, and other demographic features. See, natural vegetation is a very thick line between lithosphere, hydrosphere. Okay, natural vegetation lies in biosphere, of course, and biosphere is a very narrow zone between this hydrosphere and lithosphere, where a living things sustain. Natural vegetation is a thing which grows by itself. There is no human intervention in that particular natural vegetation in making them growing up. Okay. Now, if we speak about large scale of natural vegetation, let's start from the big forests. Okay. See, the area which are having heavy rainfall, plenty of rainfall, the area which are having, sorry, heavy rainfalls, in those area, mostly you will find which variety of trees? Evergreen trees. Okay. Evergreen trees will be found there, and they are called evergreen because almost entire year their leaves are maintained on the trees and they are green throughout the year almost. Yeah, either in a different way that I will tell you shortly. The areas which are having heavy rainfall, their trees are huge in size. They are long and huge in size because they are having surplus of water. Okay. Apart from this, there are other variety of trees that are called as deciduous trees. Deciduous trees. What are these deciduous trees? These are the trees which shed their leaves in different time of a particular year, in different months. They shed their leaves at least once in their entire year. They are called as deciduous trees. Fine. Now the deciduous trees are mostly found in the area where their rainfall is not, even. Okay, it's sometimes more in particular months, it's sometimes less in particular months. Deciduous trees are again divided as per their area into tropical forests and one more variety which you will find out from the book. Fine. So these deciduous trees, as the rainfall is uneven, they are usually small in size as compared to the forest which are having evergreen trees. Fine. Now the third variety of natural vegetation where there is hardly any rainfall, the areas which are deserted areas, dry and arid areas, there usually we found what? Shrubs. Shrubs are found and the trees are found which are having what? Spines. Okay, they are not having trees in order to prevent what? Water loss. Okay, so dry and arid areas are having at this type of vegetation. Then one more variety is there as far as the climate is concerned, that is tundra type of climate. Okay, yeah, polar climate. Tundra type, yeah, polar type. In that particular area there is another variety which is also given in the book. You can connect your video with that. This area covers which type of vegetation? Whole polar region are covered with mosses and lichens. Okay, lichens and mosses are found there. Fine. So this was an overall discussion about the natural vegetation depending upon the climate, soil, and availability of water. Now we'll moving to the next part of this your chapter, that is about the wildlife. Wildlife. See, dear students, in our nature, the natural vegetation, the wildlife. Let me write it down here. Natural vegetation, wildlife. They are part of a particular system. They are dependent on each other, and this system is called as, they are interdependent on each other, and this system is called as what? Ecosystem, in which both of them help out in surviving their lives. Like how can wildlife make be helpful to natural life? Oh, sorry, natural vegetation. See, there are birds which used to collect honey from flowers from different trees. They collect their foodings, grains. So while they are collecting their honey or different things, nectar from the flowers, they knowingly or unknowingly carry grains of the flower or that plant with them, and those grains are spread out in that particular way. Means the birds helps in what? Pollination. Okay, so this pollination is helpful in spreading natural vegetation because there is no man-made efforts. These are being done naturally. Fine. Now, as far as the wildlife are concerned, of course, the big animals, the large animals are found in the forests which are having plenty of trees. Okay, evergreen forest, you can find the large animals like elephants, lions, tigers are found over there. Fine. And wherever there will be big carnivorous animal, there will be, of course, herbivorous animal also. In order so that these animals can prey on them, they can prey on them so that the food cycle will be maintained in the nature. Now the issue is, as far as your book says, that how the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife is to be done. Why they are to be conserved, and how they are conserved. See, there are many reasons why these are to be conserved and why they are in danger. Conservation. Why this word conservation came? See, dear students, there are many species of animals which are endangered. Okay, which are endangered, which are about to extinct. Means there are many few animals found of that particular species. Fine, like domestic bird that we used to find 20, 30 years earlier, a small bird. Nowadays, it's not found nearby to us. Okay, like some of the varieties of eagles and vulture, now they are not found in our nature. So these are extincting day by day because human intervention, climatic change, pollution that we people are creating. Okay, because forest areas are depleting, forests are getting shrunk day by day. Okay, apart from that, as far as the wildlife is concerned, again we human beings, for our daily needs, for our requirement, we are cutting down forests heavily for meeting our wood requirements. This again is a very big threat for natural vegetation, cutting down of trees. This disturbs the entire natural system, which results into what? Different sorts of, like this case, you can say landslides and all. And yes, apart from human intervention, there are many other natural factors also which results into the danger of natural vegetation and wildlife, like tsunamis, floods, okay, other natural things which pose a threat to life for wildlife and natural vegetation. So students, let's see that what government has done and what we people can do. Okay, just turn your page number 20 and 21 for have a reading, and just to check the points which I am writing. See, government has authorized some wildlife reserves, zoological parks, botanical gardens, okay, botanical gardens, and other wildlife sanctuaries which are reserved. Human beings can't go over there for hunting purpose or other purpose. Human being can go there just for a visit, like a tourist. Okay, so these reserves are a step from the government side to preserve this wildlife and natural vegetation, so that these things can be preserved for prolong. Okay, and governments keep a check on the endangered species. Like in India, if I say, there are few animals which are categorized like lion, tiger, peacock. Hunting of these animal is Hunting of these birds and animal is totally banned. You can't hunt down these animals. It is a punishable crime by the government. Okay, so these are some steps, some methods. Apart from that, there are some government reserved site in your book. It's clearly mentioned the abbreviation for that site, an international convention site, CITES. Okay, these sites are totally restricted for outsiders to move in, as there is a threat to disturb the ecology of that particular area. This is again sites. Let me write down. These are again a step from government side to preserve the natural beauty of that particular place and natural security of that particular place. So dear students, in this entire pages we have just gone through the natural vegetation, why they exist in a particular area, what is the danger that they are getting from human beings, how can they be preserved, and same we have discussed for the wildlife, means what is the danger that is being on the heads of wildlife and how they can be preserved from our side and as well as from the government side. Okay, so that's it for this chapter, and you can go through the bookwork of this chapter. You can try to complete that bookwork from your side. Then we'll have a check on that bookwork. We'll discuss that bookwork in our next lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.